Hey guys, welcome back. Hey, we're back up the farm today and doing a little job that someone asked me, well, months ago, back in spring, next time I'd done it, if I'd show them. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put the duals on my 4430, give me a little extra traction with my ripper. And these are what they call snap-on duals. Uh, this spacer right here, which is fastened, welded to the inside of the wheel. It will slide up here, and if you can see that ring around this tire, that's where it's been sitting when it's been on here. It slides up in there, and then you've got a bolt or latch that goes from this. Got 4 points on this wheel, and they'll go through here and they'll hook on this ring right here, and you tighten them down and hold them in place. So there's no fluid in these tires, but they're still heavy. It's a big old tire. And so what I do is I use my little skid steer, and I pick the tire up, get it lined up in there, and get it started where it's supposed to go. And then I'll get my straps and hook them up, and we'll take up the slack in it and tighten them down. It's not a terrible process, but doing it this way, I can do it by myself. Don't have to manhandle these wheels. Oh yeah, and I've got the tractor setting up on some blocks, just a little bit, a couple blocks of wood underneath the tire, to get that tire up off the ground, to give myself a little bit of room. If that's still sitting on the ground, then this tire will be too tall to go into the wheel because it doesn't have any weight on it. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to slide that up in there, hold it in place with my skid steer, and then we'll get it bolted all together, and I'll show you all that. And then we'll just repeat it for the other side. But don't do what I done last time I put them on. There's a tread pattern. So your cleats on your tires point forward the direction you're going. That's the way that they are made to have traction. As you see, this tire is the same way. The last time I put them on, I put this tire on the other side, and I had to take it off and redo it because the tire was on it backwards. So they are directional, and I got to keep that in mind because I'll mess up. But that's what we're going to do, so y'all bear with me, and we'll set this up there and we'll get her going. Now guys, I don't claim to be real smart, but I do try to use what I have to my advantage. And if you can see, we've got this wheel sitting in there, and it's not completely squared up and everything, but we'll take care of that whenever we're drawing it up. But we've got it set in there, it's started. I'm supporting the weight of it here on this chain and strap. And I've also got it set up to the side to where the tire or the track on my machine here is kind of putting pressure on the bottom to hold the bottom in. And that'll give us all kinds of room that we need to get started getting all these in here. Now, I'm sure a lot of y'all out there is going to appreciate this. That may not, well, in fact, I know for a fact, if I was doing this job at work, this would not fly. But it doesn't bother me. I think it's plenty safe. I've got all the confidence in the world of it. And like I've told my wife a lot of times, when I'm at home and I'm on the farm I try to be safe. I try to do things safe. I'm not trying to say take risks or take chances, but OSHA doesn't have any authority here, so not over me. So I do things the way I need to, and if I think it's safe and I feel comfortable with it, I'm good. Not saying do things that are risky, but I don't think everything is as big a risk as they want to make it out to be. So I think this is going to work great. In fact, I know it will. I've done it before. So we'll get our bolts and get them in there, and I'll show you the rest of it. All right, I got 2 in already, and go on with my 3rd one here. If y'all can see that, how that works. This right here will hook into this ring, and then you got a little tit here on this that goes in this one of these holes. You just line it up with the hole that's lines up with it the best. I need to loosen that up just a little. I gotta loosen my bolt nut up. And that tit will pop in there like that. And then you just tighten this nut down on it. I would really like to have a set of bolt-on duals, and I will someday, but this is what I've got now, and they work. All right, I'm not going to tighten that all the way up. I want to get all of them on and get them snug, and then I want to take them all in together as I go. Try to pull it in as straight as I can. Before I pull it all the way in, however, I've got this chain here around it, and the way that is around, there's a hole in this spacer, if you can see in there, and when I pull that all the way up, that is going to that hole is going to go inside that wheel just a little bit. So I'm going to be able to get my chain out before I get it all the way tight. So I'm going to go ahead and put this top one on. Well, no, I ain't either, because my chain's in the way. I think those 3 will hold it. I'm gonna get my chain off, and then we will we'll tighten, put that 4th one on, and then we'll get them all tightened up. All right, that's got my chain out of the way. You notice how far this is off the ground, but it ain't as far as you think. It's almost touching. That's the reason I had to put that other one on blocks. But we'll get this last one on there, and then we'll tighten them up a little at a time and get them all pulled in where they need to go. All right, if y'all remember back in the winter, I made a video where I was making me a socket to do this, and this is that socket. It works, not the greatest, but it does work, and it's a lot better than rinsing it all the way by hand. But right now I've got the bottom, if you can see, like's about 3/4 of an inch going all the way in. The top's pretty well in, the left side's pretty well in, the right side's lagging behind a little bit. I'm going to try to work this bottom in first, and we will see how well that goes. All right, that's all the way up to the line. This right side's lagging a little behind. We'll see if we can get it up there. They're all looking pretty fair. Alright, so y'all get the idea. I've got to go around. I'll go around them, hit them a few more times. But you see how all that's pulled all the way up now to where it has been running. And it's that way all the way around. And another thing to keep an eye on, valve stem right here. When you're sliding this spacer into the other wheel, you can catch that valve stem if you're not careful. That's why I always try to put the valve stem up and then go a little high with my wheel and bring it down into it. Because you will snap your valve stem off. But that's it. That's the idea, and that's how it works. And we will we'll do the same for the other side, and I'll get everything on and get them tightened up, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Well, all right, guys, got both duals on, and I ain't bragging or anything. That's a pretty thing. I like it. But anyway, that's how I do it. And I know everybody's probably got their own method. And like I said, I wish I had a set of bolt-on duals, but these are what I got now, and they should help me on a little bit of traction. I'm fixing to take this thing to the field, and we're going to try it out and see if it's helped any. I've already pulled the gripper a little bit and tractor pull it, but I'm having a traction problem when I hit some hard spots. So I thought the duals would help on that, and we're going to see what it'll do. Of course, I've got it out of adjustment right now because the when I get my top link set to where it needs to be to go on the ground right, it's digging. I can't pick it up all the way, and it's digging in the ground all the time. So right now I got it pushed back where I can pack it, but I'll have to readjust that when I get in the field. But guys, if all goes well and the weather holds, next video we'll be ripping some ground, and like I said, I'm gonna try it out right now and see what it'll do, and then I'm gonna head home. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was informative to somebody. You know, if you're looking at these type of duals or got a tractor, you might want to put these on. These duals are relatively cheap. You can pick these up most anywhere for $300 or $400 for a set. And you know, the tires on mine aren't the greatest, but you know, they help. So it does help on the traction. But these are kind of inexpensive. It's an inexpensive choice for a set of duals. But like I said, someday I'd like to have a set of bolt-on duals. And I ran across the set. I could have bought the hubs, wheels, tires, everything for a little less than $1,000, and I should have done that, but I didn't, and I'm regretting it real big now. But anyway, this is what I've got, and this is how I do it. So guys, we'll see you next time.